Hello guys and welcome to Nuevas Paintball Mods. Today I'm gonna make the Helsing for Metro Exodus. For a very long time I always wanted to make a paintball marker look like a crossbow. And ever since I started playing Metro Exodus and I saw the Helsing, the first thing I thought when I saw it is, yep, that's the crossbow I want to make. So I'm very excited for this build, so with that info out of the way, let's get started. In Metro Exodus, there are 4 body modifications for the Helsing, and obviously I'm going with looks, so in my opinion, the most coolest looking modification for the Helsing is the compound modification. So that's the one I'm going to make. So for the base of this build, once again I'm going to use my friend's Cover 1. I'm going to start by printing my pattern, cutting it, putting it together, and transferring it to a 1/8 thick styrene plastic. Both sides consist of 3 pieces, which I'm going to cut also out of 1/8 styrene plastic. And remember guys, if you want to sand styrene plastic or any kind of material in a really close room like mine, don't forget to use breathing protection. I'm drilling some holes on this piece because later on I'm going to add some decorative screws. Now I'm going to put these 3 pieces together using super glue. And obviously I repeat the same process to make the right side. Now I'll do the front piece, which I also cut out of 1/8 styrene plastic. I cut 2 pieces because I want to make this piece a 1/4 inch thick. Now using a 1-inch stepper bit, I'm going to drill both holes on this piece. Now a quick test on the barrel and it is perfect. Now I'm going to use my heat gun to heat up this part over here so I can bend it to the contour of the front piece. Then obviously I did the same thing to the other side. Now I'm going to do the back part, and for this I'm going to do like a box with 1/8 styrene plastic for the front and the back and 1/16 styrene plastic for both sides. Now I'm going to use my heat gun to heat up this 1/16 styrene plastic to the shape of the front and the back piece. Obviously it didn't shape perfectly, so I'm going to fix it with my Dremel. So before I add the back part, I actually forgot to add a bevel to this piece here. So I'm going to do that now with my Dremel. And also this piece here. Now that I finished on the body, it's time to do the arms of the crossbow. To cut the holes on this piece, I'm going to use my coping saw. To this piece, I'll repeat the same process I did to the front part, which is gluing 2 1/8 together so I can make it a 1/4 inch thick. And as you can see, the cuts are really ugly, but this was intentional because I'm going to shape it using my Dremel and some files. Now this piece has a bevel on the inside, so I'm going to use a file to shape it. Now I'm going to repeat the same process I did to the other piece to cut the rectangle hole on this piece. Now using my heat gun, I'm going to bend it a little bit and also I'm going to bend the end. Now that I have the starting pieces done, I'm going to put them together using a 3/4 inch PVC pipe and a 3/4 inch to a 3/4 inch connector. I'm going to start by cutting 2 rings out of the 3/4 inch PVC connector. Then I'm going to cut 4 slots on the 3/4 inch PVC pipe. Then I'm going to cut a rectangle hole on the middle of the 3/4 inch PVC pipe. Now that I have all my pieces ready, it's time to assemble them. But first I'm going to cut this piece in half so I can glue it to the 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I'm gonna add a little bit of PVC cement on the outside just so I can make the bond a little bit stronger. Then I'm going to glue the half rings on the top and the bottom. And using PVC cement, I'm going to glue this piece to the 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I'm going to add a detail now using a trim screw and a screw nut and gluing it to the top using 5-minute epoxy. Now for the next piece. Now I'm going to use my heat gun to bend both sides of this piece. Now to shape both ends, I'm going to use some pliers and my Dremel. To put these two pieces together, I drilled 2 holes on both pieces and I'm going to assemble them using some screws and nuts. But still, I'm going to add some super glue. Now I'm going to make the piston that connects the arm to the body of the Helsing. To make the piston, I'm going to use a 5/16 hose, 2 5/16 wooden dowels, a spring, 2 mid-screws eyes, and 2 rubber cone washers. And if you're wondering how it's supposed to look, here it is. I'm going to start by drilling a small hole on the small wooden dowel. I'm going to add a little bit of masking tape because the hole on the rubber washer is a little bit bigger than the wooden dowel. I repeat the same process to the other wooden dowel. Now I'm going to use these 2 pieces of 1/8 styrene to glue the piston to the arm. And finally, this part is complete, but obviously I have to do one for the other side. So now that I have both pieces, obviously the next step is to attach it to the body of the crossbow. But first I need to address a big problem with the build. And congratulations guys if you noticed this since the beginning of the video, because it took me days to notice this, and that is I forgot to attach the feeder elbow on the marker before I started building everything. Yeah. So to fix this, I'm gonna cut a gap on the right side of the body of the Helsing so I can attach the elbow feeder to the marker. Now that I have this piece almost cut in half, as you can see, it's a little bit flimsy, and that's a big problem right now. The way I'm going to fix that is I'm going to attach a piece right here that in the game or in crossbow is the part that carries the arrow. Obviously right here is not going to do that, but it's going to help me attach this side to this side and make it a little stronger. For this I'm going to use a piece of 1/16 styrene, and with my heat gun I'm going to bend both ends 90 degrees. I'll repeat the same process on 2 pieces of 1/16 styrene, but this time I'll bend them 120 degrees. And finally, it's time to attach the arms to the body. I'm gonna start by carving 2 gaps on this piece so I can glue the arms to it. But before I do that, I'm going to add the decorative screws on this piece because obviously it's going to be much easier now than with the arms attached. And once again, I'm using PVC cement for extra support. So this is the build so far, guys, and as you can see, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I really like how it's coming out so far, and obviously I'm still missing some pieces of the crossbow, but I just wanted to take a quick break just to show you how it's coming so far. So let's continue. I drilled 2 holes on the front and the side of the body of the Helsing and attach a keyring, and this will help me add the piston to the body. Now I'm going to cut the pulleys out of 1/8 styrene. Now using my Dremel, I'm going to add a bevel to one side. Now I'm going to glue 2 pieces together with the bevel facing each other. I cut 2 rings out of 1/16 styrene and I'm going to add them to both sides. And to finish it up, I'm going to add 2 washers on both sides. So I cut these 2 pieces off camera, but the one on the left is the piece that is going to be attaching that pulley to the arms, and the one on the right is the one that's going to hold the string. But before I put everything together, I'm going to add a screw on this piece, which is the one that's going to have the string attached. And of course I have to do a second one. Now I'll attach the pulley to the arm using super glue. So this is the build so far, guys. Before I move to the next part of the build, I wanted to point out some things. The first thing, obviously I didn't add the string on the pulleys. This is because that will be the last thing I add to the build, obviously because I need to paint it. And the other one, I added a little piece right here on the middle of the crossbow. This is because when I glue the pulley to the right side of the crossbow, it added a little bit of weight, so it was pulling it. So this piece right here in the middle fixed that. So the last big thing I need to do to this build is add the tubes that go underneath the crossbow that are used as a grip. So let's continue. So the pieces I'm going to use for the next part of the build will be this 3/4 inch double joint, this 3/4 inch with 1/2 inch inside thread, and this 3/4 inch thread with a 1/2 inch inside hole. So the way I was thinking to put this together is I'll put the 3/4 inch joint in the middle. This piece will be just like a plug on the front, and this piece I want to put it right here, but obviously it doesn't fit because of these things right here. So I'll just sand it down so I can slide this one right here. This piece will be the one that will be attached to the body of the crossbow, and at the end I'll just drill a 1 inch hole on this middle piece. I think the middle part is a little bit long, so I'm going to trim it. So I have all my pieces modified and ready to go, but I was checking the concept art, and actually this front piece it's wrong. It doesn't have this ring right here, so useless. Instead of that, I cut this 3/4 inch PVC pipe and I put a cap of 1/8 styrene plastic. So this is the real piece now. So here it is, guys, this piece with a 1 inch hole, and this is so I can put this 3/4 inch PVC pipe inside. I know it kind of sounds weird, but for you guys that maybe don't know, 3/4 inch is not the outside of PVC pipe, it's the inside. So the outside is actually like 1 inch and a little bit more. And if you notice, I accidentally drill my hole all the way through, but it's not a big problem. Just seal it with some PVC glue and sand it. So with this piece done, I'll move to the next one, and that is this 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I'm gonna start by cutting a cap on the PVC pipe, and this is so it can be much easier to bend it 90 degrees with my heat gun. Now I'm going to close the gap using PVC cement. Using my heat gun, I'm going to heat up the end of the 3/4 inch PVC pipe so I can flatten it. Now I repeat the same process but in a 1/2 inch PVC pipe. Now I'm going to put the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch PVC pipe together using some screws and nuts. And to end this part, I'm going to glue it to the rest of the housing. So guys, before I move to the next part of the build, which is the details and the painting, I wanted to point out something really quick, which is on the original Helsing on the game, there's actually a tube right here on the right side of the crossbow that goes all the way to the back. I didn't add that because it will be on the way of the trigger and you won't be able even to grab the paintball marker. So I have to remove that, and it really sucks for me because I try really hard to get as close to the original weapon of the games, but in this case I have to take that out of the build because I mean you won't be able to play with it, which is actually the point of the whole build. So yeah, I mean it sucks, but it's a sacrifice that I have to make. With that said, I'm just going to move to the last details, which is some decorative screws and the iron sight, which on the back and the front. And after that, just go to my favorite part of the build, which is painting. The front iron sight is just a half ring of 1/8 styrene plastic with a nail. The back iron sight is a small door hinge with a 1/16 styrene shaped as a coin with a gap. For the painting, I'm gonna start by applying a gray primer. Then I cover the whole Helsing with a silver color. Then I apply a light dry brush of yellow and green. Now for the PVC pipes, I apply a blue color. I'm painting it messy because it's supposed to look like the paint is chipping out. And I repeat the same process with the blue on the back. Then a golden color for the iron side coin. And now it's time to apply the weathering. Using a combination of brown, yellow, and a little bit of green, I'm trying to replicate a color of rust. I'm going to add most of the rust color where the screws and nuts are. Using a sponge, I apply a little bit of silver color so I can resemble scratches. For the next step, I need to put the Helsing on the marker. Now for the grip, I cut a square of 1/2 inch foam mat, which I'm painting it leather brown. To assemble the grip, I'm going to wrap a 1/16 foam to the 3/4 inch PVC pipe. And finally, by using some cord, I'm going to add the 1/2 inch foam. So guys, this is the complete Helsing for Metro Exodus, and I'm really happy with the final product. This was a really interesting build because at first it was kind of easy with the body, and then it became more difficult with the arms. And this back part, man, this was a pain. I have to fix it several times, but as you can see, I made it work, and that's the whole point, guys. If something doesn't work, keep trying until it works the way you want it to. Never give up, keep trying. So guys, if you would like me to make another weapon from the Metro series or another modification from the Helsing, let me know in the comments below and I'll think about it. Thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time when I take this to the field.